here's a little something for you. My dad started racing dirt track. I think he was like 14 or 15 years old. He didn't have a driver's license yet. I know his first dirt track car that he built, I think he drove it to the track, and then he won enough money that he could buy a car trailer. So then he used the family's tractor, farm tractor, hooked to the trailer to drive it to the track, and eventually won enough money to buy a pickup. And I think he paid, I think he might have borrowed like $500 off Granddad to buy his first race car, but he had to pay him back $1,000 or something because Granddad didn't want him borrowing money to become a grease monkey all of his life with the story. And he worked for everything he had. He earned everything he had, and the old boy was up on the wheel. He was pretty tough. He raced. So he was born in 44, so he started racing, I don't know, what, like 58, 9, something like that. And he finished out in, I believe, 77. So he had quite the career. I grew up around the dirt track. My dad, I used to have this little, they called it a yard cart, little go-kart. I was probably about 4 years old. And it was just your usual, just, pipe frame, just a little starter cart. And I don't know if I showed talent or Dad hoped that I had talent, but Omicron. But he ended up buying me this full tilt boogie race go-kart. And this race go-kart, it was a chrome ollie chassis. It had true knockoff wheels on it, spinner knockoff wheels. Fuel tank was mounted to the back of the seat. We had to move the pedals up. I was 5 years old when I got this cart. It had 2 engines. Back then, we didn't have the Briggs and Stratton hot rod engines they have today, or the Rhino Raptor motors or whatever they are. We had chainsaw competitions were really good, really big, and they had some pretty powerful chainsaw power heads. And that's actually what they ran on my go-kart, was a pair of, I could run either 1 or 2 engines, and they were McCulloch chainsaw power heads. And I don't know anything about them as far as CC or anything like that, because I was 5. But I do know that this cart would run like 75 miles an hour with 1 motor, and it'd break 100 with both motors. I won every single race that I entered with that. We raced dirt track, round track. I won every single race that I ever entered. The closest kid to me in age was 16 years old. I was 5. I weighed 35, 38 pounds, something like that. So my horsepower to weight ratio was pretty stellar. And it's kind of funny. I knew what the green flag was, a checkered flag. I was very limited. I think I could count to 10 at the time because I wasn't the brightest bulb. And basically every time I would go past the flagman, I would count. And when I counted to 10, came off the track, and they handed me a trophy. We were running a feature one time, and actually that was the only race that technically I lost, because all the features were always 20 laps. So I would count to 10 twice. Well, this was a special deal, and I'll tell you what, this little thing's bugging me nuts, look. But I hope you probably hear that. That's my little wind deflector come loose from the cold weather. But anyway, it was a 25 lap feature. I wasn't aware, either of my parents. They go up there, count to 10 twice, and bring it home. So I had the entire field like 3 laps down when I counted to 20, and I ran my 20 laps. Brought it into the infield, and everybody's like, "What are you doing?" And by the time I got back out, I mean, it was a small track. It was already over. And so what they did that day was, actually, it was that 16-year-old boy that won the race. And I remember he had a white, like 65 El Camino, and there's a picture somewhere at Mom and Dad's of me and this boy sitting on the tailgate of this El Camino. And I know he got the money for the race, and they let me have the trophy. And it wasn't much anyway. But yeah, that was the only race that I guess I technically lost. I remember one time I was running, and I thought I had died because I was only 5, and I'm running and I'm just balls out going around this track, and I had everybody lap down, and I came off of, I guess that'd be turn 4, and as I came off turn 4, it pushed on me real bad, and I went off the track. And they had these posts and like cattle fence around this track, and I smelled, I think it was a locust post or something. I smoked this fence post, and of course open face helmet, because this is 1974. I was 5 years old, and I mashed my mouth on the steering wheel or nose or something. You know, the blood's running, and there was a little kid there, and he watched all of it. And man, I hit that, and I had a bunch of blood popping out, and that kid, it spooked him, and he got to yelling, you know, he's dead, and I don't know, I figured he knew what he was talking about, so I figured I was dead, which, you know, had me all upset. And it wasn't quite like the Talladega Nights where I was running around on the track thinking that my underwear on fire or anything like that, but I think it was about a half a step below that. But yeah, it freaked me out because I thought I was dead, and of course Mom and Dad had to get me all calmed down and everything. But no, that was my dirt track experience. We ran, I'm not sure how many races we ran, but it was quite a few, and I was pretty good at it. I think I just, at least if nothing else, my dad saw to it that I had enough advantage that nobody could catch me, and maybe I just Jeff Gordon'd everybody, I don't know. But it was fun, great memories, and happy for the opportunity to be able to do something like that. So love you, Mom and Dad, for making that happen. See you guys later.